These are the 10 best new mods in the last week for Project Zomboid Build 42. The first mod on the list is ShelterHold Beehive, and this mod finally adds full beekeeping into Project Zomboid. And yes, it even adds zombies. This mod introduces a complete beehive system with new structures, new foods, medical items, and even ways to boost your farming. It's not just a small feature, it actually changes how you survive. There are 3 types of bees you can use: honeybees, bumblebees, and zombies. Each species gathers honey at different speeds and has unique traits. If you want the best efficiency, you can swap bees depending on what you need. Bees are also affected by the environment. Things like temperature, weather, the time of day, and whether the hive is indoors or outdoors all influence when the bees leave to collect nectar. Inside each hive, you can add frames. More frames means faster honey production. And when bees are active, they also give a small growth bonus to nearby crops, which is really useful if you're building a farming base. You can remove frames or bees at any time, but you might get a small sting or scratch. It heals on its own and won't kill you, but it can still be annoying. Wearing a hazmat suit or Spiffle mascot suit makes you immune to stings. Or you could just work while the bees are asleep. The mod also adds a honey extractor. You use it to pull honey out of your hive frames once the hive is ready. You just keep clicking the extractor button until the progress bar fills up. There is a small chance that the extractor damages a frame, but it's not too common. There are also many new items. You get new honey-based foods that have more calories and carbs than regular food. There are 2 new medical items, the honey bandage and the honey patch, and they stay clean longer than normal bandages. Beeswax can also be used to restore 1 weapon count on a weapon, which is a nice bonus. You can find bees and wild hives while foraging in forest areas. And if you want to attract bees yourself, you can place a bait hive. Add honey, beeswax, or anything sweet, and it might pull in a wild hive. Breaking it down can give you honey, beeswax, or even live bees for your own hive. Overall, this is a fun and detailed mod that brings full beekeeping into Project Zomboid. If you want new foods, new healing items, farming bonuses, and your own honey production setup, this is a great mod to try. Coming up next, we have neat crafting and neat building XP display. And this mod is a small but super useful quality of life add-on for anyone using the neat crafting or neat building mods. What this add-on does is very simple. It shows you exactly how much XP every single crafting or building recipe gives. It also shows you which skill gets the XP, and in the newest version you can even show which mod the recipe comes from. This makes crafting way cleaner, especially if you use a lot of modded recipes. The XP display is fully customizable. You can turn the XP line on or off in the mod options menu. You can also choose from 4 different display styles. Base XP shows the raw XP amount, final XP shows the amount after all multipliers, multiplier mode shows the base XP, the multiplier and the final XP. And breakdown mode shows everything in detail, including all the multipliers that were applied. The add-on is fully compatible with Build 42, and it is safe to add or remove mid-save. It doesn't add items, it doesn't touch loot, and it doesn't change recipes. It only adds visual information to the neat crafting and neat building interfaces. Just make sure you load the mods in the correct order: first neat UI, then neat crafting, then neat building, and then both XP display add-ons after those. If something doesn't update, you can force a workshop refresh by unsubscribing and resubscribing on Steam. Overall, this is a small but extremely helpful add-on. If you use neat crafting or neat building and you want clear XP info, mod info, and clean UI that auto-adjusts, this add-on makes the whole crafting experience way better. Before we move on to the next mod, 98% of you aren't subscribed to the channel, so please subscribe and become a Giga Chad. And if you want to support me another way, use the link in the description and get yourself a Project Zomboid server for a great price. At number 3, we have water pipes, also known as plumbing, and this mod completely changes how water works in Project Zomboid. With this installed, you can build pumps, run pipelines, and bring water from rivers, lakes, and wells directly into your base. You can even set up sprinklers for your crops and control your whole water network with valves and flow meters. The Build 42 version is fully rebuilt with new features, better performance, and smoother building tools. It's a big upgrade compared to older versions of the mod. The system is very easy to start. You place a pump next to a water source, connect electricity to it, and turn it on. After that, you lay pipes from the pump to anything you want to supply with water. There is no pipe length limit at all. You can run water across huge bases, farms, or even multiple buildings. You can expand the network with forks, crossroads, sprinklers, valves, and flow meters. Sprinklers automatically water crops in an 8-tile radius, which makes farming almost maintenance-free. Valves let you close or open directly parts of the system, and closed sections won't use any water. Flow meters let you right-click on a pipe to see the exact water flow moving through it. Pumps are also very realistic. They only work if placed next to a water tile or well. Lakes and rivers give tainted water, while wells give you fresh water. Pumps need electricity. They're efficient efficiency drops over time, and if they get badly damaged, they might shut off or even catch fire. You can repair them, and you can also use charcoal to filter tainted water into fresh water. Pipes automatically connect and shape to nearby pipes. Splits divide the flow, and merging pipes increase it. You can build pipes upstairs by placing the upper pipe first and then the lower one. Pipes connect to the original buildings by just placing one next to the wall. And one funny detail is that pipes actually block cars, so don't put them in your driveway. Overall, this is a huge quality of life mod that lets you fully automate your water supply, run advanced plumbing networks, and make farming way easier. If you want more realistic and advanced base building experience, this is one of the best mods you can add. Taking the fourth spot, we have item stories. And this mod is all about making buildings feel way more lived in and believable. Instead of every house feeling empty or copy-pasted, this mod adds a whole system that spawns small story-based items around the world, giving each building a bit more personality. This is the Build 42 version of the original Item Stories mod, and now everything is bundled together into an all-in-one package. The idea is simple. When you enter a room, the mod has a small chance to spawn items based on a story for that room. So kitchens spawn kitchen items, bedrooms spawn bedroom stuff, garages spawn tools, and so on. It's similar to the immersive barricaded start mod, but this time it applies it to every building just with lower chances. Because this mod adds extra items on top of normal loot, the creator recommends lowering your loot settings by a little bit to keep things balanced. And the cool part is that these spawn chances scale with the sandbox start and peak settings, so the world evolves with your timeline. The mod includes a bunch of built-in story types. There's general room loot, propane tanks spawning in garages and sheds, supermarket carts appearing in stores if you use the supercart mod, trolleys spawning in warehouses, pallet crates for people using the forklift mod, pool cues and billiard balls on the pool tables, and even new rideable items like bicycles, skateboards, and scooters spawning in garages if you have those mods installed. All of those stories are optional and modular, and you can even add your own through submods. The only thing you need is to know the room names and the furniture sprites that you want to target. There are a few limitations. Item stores won't trigger in rooms that already got a vanilla randomized house event, unless you disable randomized houses in the sandbox settings. Some tile sets have no surface offsets, which means the items might appear on the floor instead of furniture, but that doesn't break anything. And some items that don't have 3D models will appear in 2D when spawned. The mod can spawn modded items too. The room loot system pulls directly from the normal container loot tables, so any mod item that adds itself properly into the loot list can spawn naturally. And some specific stories like carts and pallet crates already supported modded items. Performance is also extremely good. The mod only processes one unexplored room per tick instead of everything at once. Even spawning inside massive Louisville buildings won't lag your game. Overall, this is a great world building mod that makes every building feel way more natural and believable. If you want Project Zomboid's world to feel more realistic, messy, and lived in, Item Stories is a perfect addition. Next up in the number 5 spot, we have realistic car physics. And this mod completely overhauls how vehicles handle in Project Zomboid. If you ever felt like cars in vanilla were floaty, weird, or just didn't react realistically, this mod fixes that from the ground up. The newest update adds dynamic traction, which means your car's steering, braking, and acceleration all change depending on the road surface, the weather, or even your tire condition and pressure. Driving on wet pavement feels different from snow, and now going off-road feels completely different from asphalt. This mod also fixes a ton of vanilla issues, like heavy vehicles sinking into the ground or losing control after driving over zombies or animals. Towing has been redesigned too. Towed vehicles glide much smoother behind you. They even steer towards you slightly, and if you stop too fast, they'll slam into your back bumper. Tire pressure affects towing speed as well. One of the biggest features is the transmission overhaul. Cars now have accurate 3-speed, 4-speed, and 5-speed automatics, complete with torque converters. With Project Summer Car installed, you can get transmissions up to 8 speeds. Your car will hit redline in every gear if you floor it, and the engine sounds exactly as it should. You can switch to full manual shifting mode too, which makes driving way more fun, especially if you're escaping hordes. Steering is now fully customizable with multiple tuning options, or you can switch back to vanilla steering if you prefer. The slowdown from hitting zombies is also fully adjustable in the sandbox settings. You can make it super easy to plow through a group droop, or make it extremely punishing if you want more realism. Tires are a huge part of this mod. Low condition tires will spin out when you accelerate. High pressure reduces drag on the road, and low pressure helps off-road. Tires will visibly lock up during handbrake turns, and you'll get better skid sounds depending on the surface you're driving on. On top of that, horsepower tweaks from other mods now actually work properly. You can adjust top speed and horsepower for every vehicle in sandbox settings, so you can balance OP cars and buff weak ones. Cruise control is smoother, auto start can be disabled, and gamepads get full analog throttle and brake support. This mod is extremely compatible and it works with KI5, Filibuster Rhymes, and basically all other car mods. It's not compatible with better car physics, but you can install or remove it at any time in your save without breaking anything. The only thing to note is that you need to manually install a folder for your mod to work, but the instructions on the workshop page walk you through it step by step. Overall, realistic car physics is one of the best driving overhauls you can get. It makes cars feel heavier, smarter, smoother, and way more believable. If you want vehicle gameplay in Project Zomboid to feel real, this is a must-have mod. At number 6, we have Sprinters over time. And this is a simple but very effective difficult mod that slowly increases the number of sprinters in your world as time passes. It's inspired by Flip Switch's challenge runs, and it adds a nice sense of growing danger to long-term saves. The idea is straightforward. By default, the mod increases the sprinter percentage by 1% every month. So on day 1, you start with 1% sprinters, and as the world ages, the number keeps going up. If you add the mod to an existing save, it automatically calculates how many sprinters you should already have based on your world age. For example, in a 6-month-old world with default settings, you now have around 7% sprinters. You also get a couple of sandbox options to customize how fast things escalate. The increase rate controls how often the sprinters percentage changes, measured in days. The delay option lets you postpone the appearance of the first sprinters, which means you can start with 0 sprinters and have them show up later when your world is already established. And there's also a reverse mode that does the opposite. It starts your world with 100% sprinters and slowly decreases the percentage over time. The mod is made to be compatible with almost everything, as long as the other mods don't directly overwrite the sprinting percentage in the zombie behavior settings. You can add or remove it mid-save without breaking anything. Just make sure you manually adjust the sprinter percentage in the sandbox if you uninstall it. Overall, this mod is a lightweight but impactful mod for players who want their world to get more dangerous the longer they survive. If you enjoy slow progression, late game tension, or escalating difficulty, Sprinters over time is a great way to make the apocalypse feel alive and a lot more terrifying. For number 7, we have the realistic temperature mod, and this one completely changes how temperature works in Project Zomboid. Instead of the simple vanilla system, this mod adds a full simulation that affects both indoor and outdoor temperatures, so winter actually feels dangerous and summer can generally overheat you. The biggest feature is the advanced indoor temperature system. Warm air will move in or out depending on the outside weather, and air flows through open doors, windows, and even gaps under them. Buildings are never perfectly sealed, so every house slowly loses heat over time. Rooms inside a building also share temperature based on size, open doors, and which floor they're on. The simulation updates every 10 in-game minutes, and it even runs when you're not in the building. So if you leave your base and come back later, the temperature will have changed realistically depending on the heaters, power, and how open the structure is. Huge buildings like malls and hospitals are supported too. If the power is still on, they'll stay climate controlled, and if the power shuts off, they start cooling or heating based on outdoor temperature. Your character's body temperature system is also rebuilt. Clothing insulation now matters a lot more, and you'll need proper layers to survive cold weather. Hypothermia comes on faster and is way more dangerous. In the summer, wearing too much clothing can make you overheat quickly, especially while running. The mod adds 4 new heaters, 2 electric and 2 propane, and they come with a custom UI where you can set their power and auto shut-off timer. All vanilla heat sources are supported as well. Fireplaces, grills, ovens, campfires, and even car heaters will warm you up. Standing close to heat sources warms you faster, but extremely low outdoor temperatures can still overpower weaker heat sources. There's also a new digital watch UI. It looks the same as vanilla, but it shows the mod's custom temperature values correctly, and you can still right-click it to set an alarm. You can speed up the temperature situation to update every minute through sandbox settings, but that's only recommended if you play with the real-time 24-hour days. This mod is fully compatible with outdoor temperature mods like cold winters or cryogenic winter, and you can add it or remove it mid-save. It doesn't change the outdoor temperature itself, it only uses whatever temperature the game already has. It's only incompatible with mods that change the digital watch UI or mods that specifically alter body temperature behavior. Overall, this mod makes the world feel way more realistic. Winters become deadly, summers become a real threat, and your base actually needs insulation, heaters, and closed windows to stay safe. safe. If you want temperature to play a real role in survival, this is one of the best realism mods you can install. In the number 8 spot, we have better generator info. And this is one of those small quality of life mods that instantly makes the game feel cleaner and more informative. If you're tired of guessing how long your generator fuel will last or what exactly it's powering, this mod fixes all of that. The mod upgrades the generator window by showing the exact number of days and hours left before the generator runs out of fuel. No more vague fuel bars or guessing games. You get a precise timer that updates accurately based on Build 42's new liter per hour consumption values. There's also an option to switch the fuel timer to real world hours, which is super useful if you play with short or long day lengths. You'll know exactly how much real time you have before the power shuts off. The UI stays completely vanilla. It looks like the normal generator window, just with extra information added in a very clean way. Nothing flashy or out of place. You also get some visual features you can toggle in the mod options menu. There's a fuel gauge that shows a clear visual bar of your fuel, and a power range overlay that highlights exactly what area your generator covers. The overlay shows powered zones in green when the generator is on, red when it's off, and you can even enable a unified outline that shows all powered areas in a powder blue color. A really nice detail is that the mod overlay also works when you're holding a generator. It shows which floors will be powered so you know exactly where to place it before setting it down. The mod works on build 42.12 and up, and it shouldn't conflict with anything unless the other mod replaces the generator info window too. It doesn't require a new save and can be added or removed at any time without issues. Overall, this is one of the cleanest utility mods that you can install. If you're running a generator in your base and you want accurate fuel timers, clean power coverage, and a better UI without changing the vanilla style, better generator info is the perfect upgrade. Taking the 9th spot, we have vehicle heater sound system. And this is a small but surprisingly immersive audio mod that brings your car's heater to life. If you've ever been driving in winter and noticed how completely silent the heater is in vanilla, this mod fixes that with a full dynamic fan sound system. The heater sound reacts instantly to your AC controls. When you adjust the heater knob, the fan fades in or out smoothly. The engine condition even affects how fast the fan ramps up or slows down, which makes older cars feel way more worn out and realistic. The volume changes based on heater intensity, engine performance, and interior conditions, and the sound only plays from inside the vehicle, so you get that proper sitting in a cold car feeling. In some cases, you might hear it faintly from outside, but that's planned to be improved in a future update. This mod is extremely lightweight and it doesn't touch any gameplay mechanics, and it's fully compatible with almost every other sound or car mod, except for the seatbelt mods that modify the same audio emitters. Because it's audio only, you can install it or remove it mid-save without any issues. Overall, it's a simple mod, but it adds a lot of atmosphere. Winter drives feel way more alive, the inside of your vehicle feels more believable, and it gives you that extra layer of immersion without changing gameplay at all. If you enjoy small details that make your world feel real, this is a great addition to your mod list. And number 10, we have primitive crafting. And this mod is made for players who love wilderness runs or challenge starts where modern tools and nails are almost impossible to find. If you're ever been progression locked because you couldn't get flint, nails, or basic materials, this mod opens up a whole new early game crafting path. Primitive crafting adds several new items, including rough planks, wooden nails, a bamboo sieve, and rough hinges. These give you a full primitive crafting system that lets you progress without relying on rare loot or hardware store supplies. The mod adds a bunch of new recipes too. You can hew a rough plank directly from a log, carve wooden nails from twigs, weave a bamboo sieve out of branches, and even create clay by mixing dirt, water, and the sieve. You can break large stones into smaller stones with a stone hammer, and carve rough hinges from planks and wooden rods or long sticks. Building gets a big upgrade as well. You can now build the pottery wheel with rough planks and wooden nails. Level 1 wooden shelves also support these primitive materials. And you can also build basic floors, door frames, and doors using the new rough planks and wooden nails instead of normal ones. One of the coolest features is the new flint searching system. You can right-click certain boulders around the map and try to find flint. The chance is based on your foraging level. When you do find something, it might be junk like twigs or a sharp flint flake. This mod is still a work in progress, and the creator plans to expand it with clay fermentation and more recipes that use rough planks and wooden nails. But even right now, it's a really solid wilderness-focused progression system. It's safe to add or remove mid-save, and even though the creator expects a few bugs, the core features work well and are very useful for survival runs away from civilization. Overall, primitive crafting is perfect for anyone who wants a true back-to-basics survival experience. If you want to actually live off the land and progress without relying on looted tools, this mod is a fantastic addition to the game.